Hello, and welcome back to the spoilerCast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. Because it's a spoilercast. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello!
Hello! And in this episode, we're going to talk about a prequel. But not any prequel, not Star Wars prequels, don't worry. No. This is a prequel to a movie I thought most people had forgotten about, but after doing a little bit of research, it kind of has a cult following.
Yes.
Yeah, which, after rewatching the original, we're going to talk about that in our Patreon episode. Check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakescene. But after rewatching the original for the first time in many, many years, and then watching this one, I don't want to spoil too much before I actually get into the story, but I don't really get it.
You don't?
No, not really.
I kinda do.
Yeah. But, let's actually get into the story here. In this episode of the spoilercast, we're talking about Orphan, First Kill.
I always want to say the Orphan, the First Kill, but no, it's just Orphan, First Kill.
Yeah, it's just Orphan, First Kill. Yes! It's the prequel sequel to Orphan from 2009. Starring Isabelle Fuhrman as the orphan, Esther / Lena, and Julia Stiles, and a couple other people I didn't recognize.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. I know the whole thing about the original was that she, not just blanked on her name, Isabelle Fuhrman, that she looked very young. That's why they picked her. Or she was very young, actually. I keep forgetting that. For the longest time, I thought Isabelle Fuhrman was like 19 when she shot the movie, and that was the whole thing. That she actually looked that young. But no, she was that young. She was like 12 or 11 when they did it. Basically the same age as the character Esther. Well, the pretend age. She's actually supposed to be 33.
That's where people got confused. I think a lot of people were like, oh my god, she's really that old? The actress has that disease?
Yeah, and I didn't find that out.
No, it's just the character.
I was sure she wasn't 33, but she was like 19 or something, and that was like, ooh, that was the cool part. But then making this movie more than 10 years later, but she's actually supposed to be 31 in this one. And now she is 23 or something like that?
She was born in 97, I think.
Yeah. Which would make her 24, right? 25 even. I don't know.
Right. Whatever, you know.
Yeah. At first when I heard about this, I'm like, how are they going to make her look even younger than the last time? She's older now. But it kind of makes sense. Because now she's closer to the age she should have been. And I guess spoilers for the original one. Towards the end of that movie, they like CGI'd her face to look older. That she all of a sudden she'd used makeup or something, and in the final act of that movie when she's chasing the mom and the kid, Vera Farmiga and Ariana Engineer.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
There's something off with her face. We see her remove her fake teeth. But there's something, like, her face looks older. And now,
they kind of, like, added wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah.
Which they kind of didn't need to. It, like, added bags under her eyes. That's enough.
It just looked weird. Her face looked too big for her body. Weird. But now, in First Kill, she looks like that. Well, not quite, but more like that in real life.
It works better in this one.
And instead they had to de-age her a little bit to make her look younger in this one.
Yeah.
Which was the funniest stuff. We talked about this in our... let's see, is it released yet? This is the problem with recording so many episodes at the same time. We recently recorded a spin-off episode called... I have unofficially dubbed it the TV Cast.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It's where we only talk about movies, or only talk about TV shows or streaming shows. And we talked about the first episode of She-Hulk, and how her face looked weird because they CGI'd, they tried to recreate a real face with CGI, but just make it bigger.
Yeah.
And how they should have just instead used forced perspective and painted Tatiana Maslany green, because that would have been funny and campy in this fun comedic show, about a She-Hulk. But they didn't, because they're dumb. They're Marvel, they're Disney, they're dumb and boring and idiotic. Anyway, enough about that. Check out that spin-off episode if you want to, if it's out.
Whenever it's out.
Yeah. Here, they, obviously she isn't as short as a 9-year-old. So a lot of people were, wearing, platform shoes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they used some forced perspective, and sometimes... they used an actual little girl when they did behind the headshots.
She had 2 body doubles.
Yeah. And
for the child version, so to speak.
Some of the shots when she's walking with her parents, and it's her face, so they're obviously putting them up above her basically, so you can hold their hands. It looks so funny. I was laughing a lot in this movie.
I didn't even think of that, to be honest. I thought it was great.
Stupid. And now that her face is older and they're trying to mask her age instead of making her look older, like in the first one, her face looks too big again. She looks silly.
I didn't think of that either. I think they look perfect.
I don't know.
Maybe I was a bit blinded by we haven't done this yet. To say what I thought of it, exactly. I freaking loved this movie.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing.
Wow, okay.
I have no issues with it. Really.
No issues with it?
No, not that I could think of. I mean, when we discuss it, I'm probably going to find something and I'm like, yeah, you're right, that is weird. But just off the top of my head, no, I have no issues with it. I loved it.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
No, I think it's a very clever script. It's very cleverly prequeling the original.
Sure.
Without any issues, without having to retcon anything. It works perfectly. And the twist, oh my god.
Yes, I did.
How did they even that? The story and the everything is just. I've never seen a movie do this before, and it works so well with the original. That also was kind of unique, and still is, I suppose. We don't have a lot of movies where there's a kid with a weird disease turning out to be an adult killer.
No, that very specific twist is unique to that movie. But I think,
we have child killers. Sure, that's a thing.
Yeah, evil kids is not unique.
No.
And the fact that something's wrong with this person was so overused in the in the mid 2000s when that movie came out, well, I guess late 2000s. And it's just I'm talking about the first movie now.
Yeah.
For me, that movie is just such a cliche mid to late 2000s cheap thrills horror movie. It really wants to be more. It wants to be the psychological thriller, but they never actually get into any character work. It's just a vehicle to have the creepy girl who's actually a lady, murder people and say, "I know, they fuck," and hit on Peter Sarsgaard, which I have to say, that is the only really scary scene in that movie. That scene is disgusting. I have to.
Oh yeah, when she starts touching him.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
There's this. I don't know if this is real, but I think it's real. There's this biological inhibitor in people's heads to stop them from being sexually aroused by a family member. Some people don't have that, obviously, but in general,
same with you should be biologically stopped to not be aroused by a child. But,
more that, because it's not actually his kid, but that as well. It's those
wrong. Two
not,
in combination,
not just on a moral level. It just doesn't make sense because, even if just pure lizard brain, you can't procreate with a child, so your brain should stop you.
Yeah, and also. Just biologically and evolutionary, it doesn't make sense to procreate with your family because it won't enhance the genetics.
That's why we call it that's why we call it a deviancy in people who like that kind of stuff, and why. Okay, now we're getting off topic here, but a lot of people are saying because there's this whole movement, the people who want to be that pedophilia should be accepted.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we don't have to go deep into it, but there's just the whole thing in the 50s and 60s we didn't accept homosexuality, but now we do. So and it's the next step is pedophilia and like what is it called when you fuck animals? Furry? No, not furry.
Yeah, I remember
Whatever,
what it's called.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, because
no, there's still a biological and evolutionary reasoning behind it.
Homosexuality is just, two people who love each other and are sexually attracted to a specific thing. There's nothing.
It's also nature's way to stop overpopulation. So
yeah, we see homosexuality in animals. Like, it's a biological thing. Pedophilia is a different thing, and it's like on such a. It's so far into your like spine. So when you see it, it's just like, I had to physically look away from that scene. It's disgusting.
The worst part about that scene is she had to act it.
I know, and I know,
but
that I don't know if it was a script or if they actually filmed. There was a more explicit version of that scene. I hope they didn't film that.
No,
it's disgusting. But that's like the only really creepy, scary scene in that movie.
No, I think there's plenty of creepy, scary stuff in that film. Yeah. I mean, especially since the first time I saw it, we're still talking about the original here. Yes, the first time I saw it, I was way too young to watch it. You were a lot younger, yeah.
It came out when you were like 14, 15?
Yeah, something like that.
2009, yeah. Sure, yeah. And yeah, the twist in that movie is great, but we should save that for the Patreon discussion.
First kill.
First kill. First of all, lots of first here. It's shorter, which I appreciate. It's not 2 hours long. It's 1:30 and then credits, which is thank you, God.
It didn't need more. It didn't need less. It was perfect length.
I would even say that it could have been shorter, because the first hour, literally the first 57 minutes of this movie, was kind of just a repeat of the first movie with slight variations, except for the whole psych ward escape scene in the beginning.
Yeah, but that was just replaced with the orphanage, kind of.
Yeah, but then it's her, coming to America with a family, meeting a new family, but in this case it's her old fake. It's Esther's real family, but she's taking over Esther's identity.
Yeah.
And it's just, these, like, she's trying to hide it, and they're like getting like, oh, something is off here, something is weird, especially the mother, just like in the first one. And honestly, I almost had to turn it off because I was so bored. Yeah.
What?
Because nothing happened. What happens in the first hour that is exciting? Before the cop in his apartment or house or whatever, what happens that is actually exciting?
I think the build-up works, because it's exciting to see her almost break and almost fail.
But we've seen that before in the first one.
Sure. But it's still, I don't know, I think it worked. Yeah. Because it established the character that before the first one, because in the first one she is more professional about it. She doesn't mess up as much as she does in this one, in First Kill.
I guess.
Which is it's a nice detail that she hasn't done this specifically before, so she fucks up, and she has her rage thing about it, because, she hates when she fucks up.
Yeah.
She's scared, I suppose, to get detected. What, detected? That's not the word.
Caught.
Caught. Yeah. I think that works, because it adds to the character of Esther or Lena or whatever her name is.
Yeah. But we don't.
I think
it adds to the character, but we don't really know much about her anyway.
But that's what we get some personality traits at least.
Yeah, but we got those in the first movie.
I guess.
I wish, because I read somewhere in this that the script was actually explored her character more, and why she, instead of just trying to scam her way into a family, steal their shit and leave, which they talk about in this one, why she actually tries to seduce, especially the father figures in the family, is because when she was very young, she was sexually abused by her own father. So far so far that she actually couldn't reproduce herself, so she's broken. Even as a child, she was mentally broken. And it's kind of a weird version of Stockholm syndrome that she actually wants to please the father figure in these families she goes to up to a certain point, and then kill them, of course, because of what happened. That would have been interesting, but we don't know that. That's
true. Yeah. That would have been a nice add-on. I think that's something that was discussed around the first movie as well.
Yes.
That they were like,
yes, that's where I read about it. Yeah.
The reasoning behind her doing this is because of a previous event with her as a child, an actual child, not looking like a child and being an adult.
Exactly. So in these movies, we don't really have a reason for it other than she's crazy, and I guess that works for a horror movie. And I did like that we got more all the parts in the art teacher's apartment when she's like planning her
research and stuff.
Yeah, that was like I almost got like Lecter vibes, Hannibal Lecter vibes. That like I would love to just see her like roam the streets of what is it, Ukraine? Russia?
Estonia? Ukraine?
Estonia.
I'm not sure.
No, it's Estonia, right. And like just fool people and like steal from some people. Someone tries to, grab her and she kills them. Just see her be a fucking psycho for a while. But instead we go right
we get a little bit of it with her killing the guards and then using the other psych ward patient as a dog or something.
Yeah. Like an attack dog,
Yeah. And then, of course, killing the art teacher. Obviously, again, we know she killed the last one, so even though we don't get to see that one.
Yeah. I would like to see more of that, where she, like, just tried to be a grown-up. Like, almost taking over the identity of the art teacher or something. That would have been fun. But instead, because of her psychological problem, which we never really delve into, she wants to be a child. She wants to be with a family. So it becomes a repeat of the first movie, sort of. Yeah,
and the more we talk about it, like I said, of course I'm going to realize things that I've missed or wanted to have in this movie.
Yeah.
I would have liked this movie to take place slightly earlier, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because it's literally 2 or 3 years before the original.
It's the family 2 years, talk about that they burned.
Yeah, that died in the fire.
Survivor, yeah. This is that story.
Yeah. And it would have been more interesting, I suppose, to have an even earlier prequel to know more about what actually happened to her.
Yeah.
But perhaps that will come within the next 10 years.
They're gonna go.
I'm not sure if Isabelle Fuhrman will be able to do it by then, but
No, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I said, I almost turned it off. The only reason I didn't was because I kind of had to watch it for this. But I was like watching YouTube videos, playing some video games. It's like, and I was like looking at, okay, this is all right. Yeah, I get it. Oh my God, she's painting with her dad, and he doesn't understand anything, and the mom is concerned. Okay, whatever. She says "fuck you" to the brother for some weird reason, and he's super standoffish, which was weird. Until,
Yeah. But when you get to the twist, it all makes sense.
Yes.
And it's so cool.
Let's
actually want to know more about that part of the story, but we don't get too many details.
Yeah. Let's talk about the twist.
So your initial reaction is
right.
Meh,
my initial reaction is eh. I guess because of the twist and the third act, it's better than the first one. But that's barely.
I don't know if I'd say it's better than the first one. I still prefer the first one, I think.
Okay, we'll talk more about that in the Patreon episode. Yeah, but for me, it's a eh. I mean, if you're a big fan of the first one, which I guess people are, check this one out, of course. But, if you're just looking for a good horror movie, skip this one. That's one thing I can say. It's never scary. Never.
No, it's not really a horror film. It's more crime, I guess?
I don't know.
Thriller, maybe?
Yeah. Well, I
gotta say one thing, though. That won't really spoil anything. Considering who the director is, I'm actually impressed. Because he did not do well with some of the other movies he's done.
No, he's done a lot of crap. He did that Stay Alive movie, and...
he did The Boy the sequel.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is better than those movies, at least. Oof.
Yeah.
You can listen to our episode on The Boy, too. Somewhere.
Didn't we do one on The Boy as well, somewhere?
Maybe, as a Patreon episode.
Might be on Patreon.
Check us out on patreon.com/nomagazine.
To find that one.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Let's talk about the actual interesting part of this movie, which is the twist.
Yes. So if you haven't seen the movie, stop. Come back.
This is
Bye.
a spoilercast, though, so, you know.
We'll be nice. We'll tell you. So now we're spoiling things. Yes, the twist.
The twist. She hunts down the police officer or the detective who is suspecting her of not being the actual Esther. She stabs him in the back and is like, "How did you find out?" And he's like, "Oh," and he doesn't really say. And
he can't really speak by then, I think.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, mother can never find out." And he's like, "She already knows," and then gets shot by the mom. The mom kills the detective, and it turns out she already knew.
The one thing I was unsure of with that is, did he know that the original Esther is dead?
Yeah, that would have been fun too. This is where the movie might actually would need to be a little longer. What if he was like suspecting the mom? Because it turns out that this is a weirdo, what do you call those? Like, there's these like, it's this kind of family, this fucked up family with this perfect facade.
Yeah.
Where the mother's like a perfectionist to a psychotic level. Where she wants a perfect family, and she talks about, because with the name Albright was actually their ancestors was on the Mayflower.
They built this fucking country.
Built this fucking country, yeah. So when it turns out that their eldest son is a bit of a weirdo and accidentally kills his little sister when they're playing, she covers it up as if she was kidnapped or disappeared at least. And they kept on living their perfect lives because she didn't want to lose both her children.
See, I don't really understand, because we don't exactly know what kind of accident, right?
I think they were like, kind of like when they're trying to kill Esther later, and he
basically pushed her down the stairs or something.
Pushed her down the stairs, and maybe they were like wrestling, and he snapped her neck or something.
I mean, wouldn't it have been easier to just post it as an accident? He wouldn't have gotten in trouble if he was a kid.
Yes, he would.
And she fell down. If she fell down the stairs because they were playing.
Well,
because she tripped.
Maybe he didn't throw her. If he threw her down the stairs,
for example.
Yeah.
If she trips and falls down the stairs and breaks her neck.
But it would also be. There would also be this weird, like, you would always, even if it's your son, the father, who obviously is the only normal person, would always look at his son as the person who killed his daughter. Even if, like, it was an accident, and I love my son and everything, you would always be like, but that is the guy.
Yeah, and everyone else will also...
Yeah.
Everyone else will also look at him and go like, yeah, you're the guy who pushed your sister or accidentally killed your sister.
Exactly.
You're weird.
It's the kind of
so it's better that she disappears.
It's the kind of thing you can't really let go of it.
That's true.
So if you want a perfect family, she just disappeared. Oh, so sad. But we persevered as a family. So now we're gonna have our charity events, and you're gonna be a famous painter, and we're a perfect family in a perfect house. Oh, this grifter is posing as our dead/lost daughter. Well, fuck her. Now she's gonna have to be our daughter, and it becomes like sick cat and mouse game where the mom like forces her to stay with the family because she has dirt on her, of course, since she killed the police officer, and she knows the story now.
Well, yeah, because she can't really go, no, this isn't my daughter, this is a 30-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, she could have said, like, are you sure this is my daughter? She seems so different or something. Maybe she's just someone who looks like her.
Yeah, but...
Because, when a child is found, how are they exactly 100% sure that it is the right child unless they do...
That's...
what's it called? A DNA test.
Yeah, which they conveniently didn't, I guess, because movie...
Yeah.
They talk about the father being convinced, and she didn't want to rock the boat at first.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. And
I guess it's also a little bit of it's a movie magic, and
yeah, but
you kind of if it's in real life, you kind of don't want to know if it's not your child. You're like, no, this is my child. I'm gonna keep it.
That's the thing, though. Talking once again about the biological things in your head. I know not a lot of stories, but there are stories of imposter children, and the parents.
Yeah, that's true.
The parents they try to deny it, but eventually they this is not my child.
Yeah, something is wrong.
Yeah, there's a whole movie about it that Clint Eastwood made a bunch of years ago called The Changeling.
I was about to say that one.
With Angelina Jolie. And her kid goes missing, and, in order to, sweep it under the rug, they just, here's your child! And she's, 100% convinced this is not my child.
But no one believes her, right?
No one believes her.
Or they don't want to believe her.
Yeah, and it's based on a true story. But there is one cop who digs into it, and it turns out there's this big conspiracy about missing children. Great movie.
Yeah,
you should check it out.
I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah.
So I know that's a thing.
Stories about that, you just know, this is not my. Even if it's been 5 years, this is someone else. This is not my daughter. This is not my son.
And normally, I mean, if you know it's your kid, a DNA test wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just prove your point, basically.
So I was thinking, are they not going to address that something feels off? But then, of course, with the twist, it's okay, I get it now.
Yeah, and I mean, the psychiatrist does point it out. Something's wrong here. I'm not sure. She said something about, it felt like an act.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, it did. She got fed information and just played off it without double-checking and making sure it's actually true or correct.
Yeah, the whole parrot macaw thing.
Yeah.
But, after that...
At the same time, that could have been just a kid remembering wrong, I suppose, if it's been gone for that long.
Yeah.
Because how long was she missing?
I think 4 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course you can get details like the color of the bird wrong. Yeah. You just remember they had a bird that was called... whatever, Stacy or whatever it was called.
I don't know. Yeah, sure, yeah, and but the thing is, all those little details, they kind of wash away when the twist happens, because then it's oh fuck, because
by then you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that twist was amazing. Was better than the twist in the first one.
Sure, yeah.
You just they keep repeating, and then someone shoots the cop, and you're like,
what the hell just happened?
You're like, what? I literally, audibly, said, what the fuck? And had
no, me too. I thought at first the person was trying to shoot Esther.
Yeah.
And they, failed, and I was like, oh, shit.
I had to rewind to make sure I didn't miss anything, the mom is shooting the cop? And then she says I know everything, you fucking weirdo dwarf, or whatever she calls her. And then there is this when they're all trying to keep this scam going together with the brother. It almost becomes this not that they have the same premise or even remotely the same premise, but it made me think of this John Waters movie called Serial Mom, where this kind of mom who has this perfect exterior, but inside she's a fucking maniac, and the whole movie is about her swearing and being just obnoxious. I've actually only seen parts of it, but that was the first thing that popped into my head, because they started this. It was this twisted version of the American dream life that they were now living. These three psychopaths trying to uphold this perfect American family facade. And the dad is just oh, I'm just so happy. I thought that was awesome. And I wish we had more of that. More things.
Yeah.
Like, she had to go to some sort of function. They introduced her to school, and like, you'll be a good girl in school now, won't you, Esther? And she had to like hang out with other 9-year-olds and just really play up that campy like schlock.
Yeah, we only have like one scene of that, and it's the party where people want to meet her for some reason.
Yeah, and then the train scene where she tries to kill them. And then, she pulls her hair like, be good now, when they wave goodbye to daddy. And then, just a perfect detail to add, the coffee he bought, because she's used to the finer things in life, she gives her coffee when he leaves on the train to go to his art dealer or whatever. She gives the coffee to her son, like, get rid of this. Tastes like fucking garbage. Because she's just like, she's just not having it right now. I love that detail. I wish that the twist came like 30 minutes into the movie and we had a whole hour of this, and they could really get like, twisted and weird and macabre with it. But instead we get like 25 minutes of it, and then it's the end fight scene, and then it's over.
Yeah, because it's after the train that she steals a car, and then the whole chase begins, basically.
And now we're pretty much at the ending.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand why they waited 50... I looked at... That's also why I rewound. 57 minutes into a 98-minute movie, we get the twist.
Yeah, that's true.
What? Why wait this long?
I mean, it's the build-up, and I guess you can only have that much time of people running around chasing each other, I guess. I mean, they could have added more of the psychological aspects of it, having her go to school and stuff, because if she were forced to go to school...
that would have been
been funny.
Yeah. They could have done so
like
many
they did in the
things.
original.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe they didn't want to do that because that would have been too much like the original.
But they were already copying the original. This would be more fun because we already know she's a grown-up.
Yeah, that's true. It wouldn't have been just a weird child. It would have been a grown-up trying to be a child.
Yeah, and like intimidating the other children, and like they could have done something weird where she's like trying to seduce an 8-year-old or something. Just something weird, sick like that.
Yeah.
And just...
I mean, we had a little bit of the whole self-harm, trying to blame it on someone else in the office there, the psychiatrist's office. Yeah. But it was too little.
Exactly.
It didn't really, like... And it's a random boy. Like, he's... First of all, he looked too young to be able to push her over and tear her dress.
And he had that... Like,
he looked like he was 5.
I don't know if that was the point, but he looked like he had, like, dead eyes, and he was there because he killed her sister or something.
Yeah, or he's one of those kids who doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Doesn't do things, and they're there to try and, like, open him up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think...
He didn't look like someone who would push a random child.
No. But it's kind of funny because I read some reviews, and a lot of people say that they love the campy aspects of this movie, and some people pointing they should have gone more into the campy stuff, the schlock stuff, and I agree, but I think there's definitely too little to so that the schlock can save this. It's still, for me, it's like 80% a bad movie and then 20% really fun. They should have gotten rid of the whole self-serious aspect really quickly and just gone with the sickness, really. And just had fun. Because it's those few moments, the train station, the rat in the smoothie, when the mother and son are like, this is it, she's fucking dead, and they start bullying her and trying to cut her wrists. That's this kind of stuff you want to see more of, and they should have gone for that.
True.
Instead of making it like this kind of traditional horror movie. Just go for the weird stuff. I mean, it's barely being shown in theaters anyway. It's a streaming movie. They don't have to like capture an audience. People are already paying.
No, they can go way all.
Yeah, so
all the way out.
Just go weird. Do the stuff that like Elijah Wood's company does with his movies, Spectre Vision. He does a bunch of weird horror movies. Like, have you seen Come to Daddy or The Greasy Strangler?
No.
Great, like weird horror movies that feels like somewhat campy and weird and schlocky. that's what this should have been. They should have.
I mean, yeah, they could have
that aspect
definitely
in the first one as well, but they pumped up a little here. But they needed to really pump it up to 11 instead of simmer it.
Especially since, like you said, we know that she's an adult now. You can add more to it. You can play on the fact that she is an adult, and the actress is actually an adult as well. You don't have to be as careful with how you ask a child to act.
Exactly.
They didn't even have one of the, seducing the dad scenes, right?
No. They were much tamer with that in this one.
Which, I guess, maybe because they don't mention it, maybe they kind of, wanted to delete that part of her history, that she didn't have that issue with the wanting to please daddy.
I guess. But it's such
weird saying that.
But it's such a big part of the first movie.
Yeah, that's true. No, they should have played on that more.
Playing everyone out against,
trying to get rid of everyone except, even I think in the first one, she's trying to get rid of everyone except for the dad and even Max, because Max could they could be a little family kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they should have added more of that.
Yeah, while I did enjoy this.
I still very much enjoyed it. I still feel like the writing, I mean, not the writing, but the premise is, and the twist is still amazing. I would have never expected that.
That's what works. The concept is still, exciting. The twist was amazing. The original has a weird twist in general, and they managed to make an even cooler twist on top of that. Yes.
Which is so good.
But I just wished it happened earlier in the movie.
Yeah,
and they
that's
just
true.
had more fun with it. Because that's kind of what it felt like. Because at least the stuff you saw on Twitter and Isabelle Fuhrman, posting some stuff, it felt like they were doing this for the fans.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they know, what the fans like about the original. It kind of felt like this was all being done with, what do you call it, tongue-in-cheek. Glimt in the eye, like we say in Swedish.
Yeah.
But the movie doesn't feel tongue-in-cheek until that last half hour. And that's the problem.
I mean, the story is written by the same people.
It is?
That wrote the first one. Yes, but the screenplay... So they had this, apparently, I saw some videos, and one of them had clips from interviews with Isabelle Fuhrman and Julia Stiles.
Yeah.
So apparently the story was already written way back, basically.
Okay, so they had a sequel idea for a while.
Yeah, okay. Or a prequel or something. They had this, I guess it's story elements they didn't use for the first one, kind of.
Oh.
And they just developed it. But apparently Isabelle Fuhrman contacted someone, was like, could we just do it again? Could we do something more with this character? And they're like, yeah, we have a story. We just need to make a script. And then they hired whatever his name was, David Cogshow, whatever, to write the screenplay for it. And they just went for it.
And what has he written before?
Not much that I recognize.
David Cogshow.
Oh, he wrote for the Scream TV show.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that's not a good...
Some TV stuff.
That's not a good track record.
I never watched that. Is it? It's bad?
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's you're just stealing elements from an already existing series, so to speak, and just twisting it weirdly, and it's not good.
And he wrote The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia.
Yeah.
I saw half of the original Haunting in Connecticut. I think at least, because they made so many of those Haunting in movies for a while. I'm pretty sure there's 2 Haunting in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure there's a Haunting of Maryland or something like that. And they're all just trash.
No, there's just Haunting everywhere. In New York, it's a thing apparently.
It's like a cheap cash grab when all the ghost movies became popular with Insidious and The Conjuring.
But you talked about a movie called Prey before. When we talked about Prey, you know, the
Yeah.
oh no, what's it called? The Predator movie, the new Predator movie. He has written something called Prey. Is that the same one that you were talking about?
Yeah, I see. No, I don't know what this is. A young man must survive
Okay, so
an
that's
island
another
retreat
one.
while a sinister force hunts him, leaving bodies in its wake. I have no idea what that
That was
is.
just wondering if that was the one you had talked about.
Yeah.
But no, guess not.
Wait, I talked about a Prey movie?
Oh yeah, you mentioned it when we talked about the new Predator movie. That maybe it was off camera.
I mentioned a video game.
Because there's a lot of prey and prey.
No,
you know.
I mentioned a video game called Prey for the Gods.
Maybe it was
where
that
they
way.
mean both pray as in, giving praise to God, but also being prey for the gods. That might be it.
Okay, fine. That might be it. Either way, yeah, I think the script, I mean the story, like I said, the story is great. Or good, at least. They have a lot of interesting, there's a lot to it that is great, but then there is obviously lacking stuff. And I don't know if the screenplay did the story justice.
No. It, like you said, it repeated too much stuff from the original.
Yeah.
It should have just gone.
No, we
right
don't know
to
how
the
much of the story was actually usable or is used.
No,
I don't know, maybe the story is like 2 sentences. This is what we have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a 3-page story treatment.
Yeah, it's just like, you know about this movie. We thought like that would have happened before and then they die. Can we do a movie about that?
And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Sure.
Now, I'm pretty sure this is me just guessing, but still, I'm pretty sure that the story they had was that this is going to be the story of her first time trying to seduce a family. But it turns out that she actually ends up in a family full of psychos that are worse than her. Now write that script, David. Oh,
basically,
okay.
yeah.
Because that is a great premise. You have this psycho that we already know is insane, but then she goes up against worse people. Like, oh fuck, and she almost becomes like the hero of the story for a little bit, which was also super weird. You're like, when she's killing Gunnar, the son, you're like, am I supposed to cheer now? Because the music is horrible, but she is also killing a maniac who tried to kill her. So what am I supposed to feel here?
I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah, because
you're not supposed to feel bad for her, but
no, but people are fans of her. She's like, yeah, you go, Esther. Even though you tried to murder children in the last movie, and
you know that you will do it in the future, technically,
and you're killing innocent people in this one. But yeah, you go, yeah. It's kind of like people cheering for when Jason kills people or whatever.
Yeah,
Voorhees. I guess, but yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Someone, I watched a few videos about this, and someone said, we finally have, a female cool killer that has, cool one-liners and gets to, be a badass. I'm like, sure, we don't have a lot of female killers in general in horror movies, but I'm not sure we're supposed to celebrate her being a killer or having a badass one-liner, which... The only one-liner she has is when she kills the art teacher and goes it's usually just one hit or whatever she says.
Yeah.
And then she goes down and hits her more.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know if we should celebrate it, though.
No, and I could understand it.
It's cool, but...
Yeah, I could understand that if, like the Friday the 13th movies, this was more camp and didn't try to be so serious at first.
Yeah.
Then it could be like, yeah, fuck them up, Because it's fun.
Exactly.
And we just want to see a bunch of, cannon fodder character get murdered by her. But instead we have
that's the thing as well.
1 hour build-up until, before that.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of murders or even, her trying to kill people in this one. We have the initial 3 kills.
Yeah.
When she escapes.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing until the policeman or FBI, a detective, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the chase in the end.
Yeah.
So but she's only responsible, technically, for one of the kills in the end.
Yeah.
The second one is just, she's trying to escape and survive.
Yeah, both the parents fall. And
that's not her fault.
No, exactly. And she kills the guard in the beginning, which is also just like, this is the worst fucking insane asylum ever. They like have guards being seduced by they know she's manipulative and she's a master con man, as they mention, but they still don't like vet their guards to like check like, so how are your feelings about her now? You know, this is like, it's like the Joker and Harleen Quinzel situation, but it happens in like 10 minutes instead of like years of. I guess we didn't see that, but you know,
we didn't get to see all of it. We only saw the last time.
Yeah, but
because we can tell that he's like, yeah, okay, because he got her that package specifically, so she must have convinced him to do that for her. What? And then obviously he's like inclined to go into her cell, which is, this dude is technically a pedophile, I suppose, because her body is like a 9-year-old, even though her mind is basically 30.
No, I mean, because she has been alive since 1976.
Yeah, but her body has stopped growing. It's not evolved.
No, but I mean,
that feels weird.
It's a little weird, especially when she looks that young. But there's, you know, that's technically not wrong just to be attracted to someone.
Fine, sure, young. Yeah, technically it's not, but it feels wrong. And definitely,
it's when it's like they are young, and I like that. That's the problem.
Yeah, sure. But it feels odd.
Yes,
and also he's supposed to be guarding her, not having relations with her of any kind. It's like, I mean, too many things are wrong here. You should do none of them.
We've seen that in other movies as well, but it just felt a little rushed here.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the most exciting parts, the Estonian insane asylum and the third act with all the, you know, psycho family stuff, those are the parts that have taken up an hour of the movie. And the boring repeat of the original movie, that should have been the middle 20 minutes.
Yeah, the whole becoming best friends with the dad.
Yeah, like, who cares?
It's a bit too long.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Yeah, unless it's gonna culminate into one of those awkward, she's trying to seduce him.
Which it didn't.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big problem.
Though I have to say, that actor, Rossif Sutherland, I was like, I know that face. Yeah. And it made me want more of those scenes.
Who is he?
And I realized where I know him from Rain, the TV show where he plays Nosferatu.
He's in Possessor. That's where I've seen it, but I can't like place him in that movie though. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of random stuff, it seems like.
Yeah, nothing I recognize except for the Possessor. That's a good movie though. But yeah, like, and also, I couldn't really place him. Was he good or was he bad? I couldn't really decide. Because I think he didn't
have enough.
No, that's true.
To do.
I liked his voice and I liked his look.
He's very I don't know. He's appealing in that sense.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was just that or if he was actually a good actor as well. I didn't know.
He didn't have enough to do as an actor. He was just like carefully happy the entire movie.
Yeah, basically.
Except for that one scene with Julia Stiles when they're like, how much time do you need?
Ugh, yeah.
But that was also... It was a bad version of the two scenes they have in the original. Where she catches them in the act, I suppose.
The weird emphasis on sex in the first movie. They didn't repeat here except for that one scene, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which was good, because it was so awkward in the first movie.
Yeah, but it makes sense in the first movie, though. This one it doesn't. Because it culminates into that whole seducing the dad.
Yeah.
Since we don't have that in this one, in First Kill, it's just like, so why add the sexual aspect at all if you're not going to play on it?
Yeah.
She's jealous, but as soon as she finds out that, shit, mom knows I'm not the real Esther, she just forgets about the whole thing about trying to seduce the dad. Yeah. She's so busy keeping track of the mom and brother, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. And also the last part of that, it just takes place over, an afternoon and an evening?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, a few hours. I thought they were going to do more with it. When she gets in the car, she puts on lipstick, she smokes a cigarette, listens to Maniac.
Yeah.
And I thought she was going to go, now she's going to go do stuff. But no, the cop finds her, like, immediately. Oh, okay. Once again, like, a perfect opportunity to just have fun. Have her, like, a montage of her doing weird stuff or something. But no, they didn't.
They could have fleshed it out and
had fun with it.
Yeah, had more fun with it.
Oh, and also, or did you have anything else to say?
No, go on.
Can we also talk about how ugly this movie was? Like how it almost felt like there was like a mist over the entire movie. Everything was so foggy and misty all the time, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, no, I think that was
this weird lens it had this like super shallow focus where everything is out of focus except for like the characters.
I didn't really. I just noticed that it's very dark and colorless in general, but I have a feeling that's to conceal all the little like fixes they had to do to make her look young.
Yeah, maybe, but it makes the movie look cheap, which I'm pretty sure it was cheap. But also,
yes,
they have all these like obviously a lot of the sets were real, like the house and everything. Like that wasn't cheap, but it all just looks cheap because of it.
It's probably to match the original a little bit in the aesthetics, and then also to make the few times they utilize the blacklight thing stick out.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, apparently, this was filmed in November through December. That's it.
Yeah, which is a quick shoot, which is good, but it's also then weird that they have like CGI snow in the beginning. The snowstorm that the art teacher's in is obviously fake.
Oh yeah,
because the snow looks like snow from like a PS2 game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control weather though.
No,
and they probably couldn't wait any longer. They were like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll just film it and add snow after. We can't wait now. We need to do this one.
Sure,
I suppose.
Yeah,
but it was done in 2020. They filmed it in 2020.
Late 2020. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know, because of restrictions and lockdowns and everything, it was delayed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, I just read a trivia. Body count 8, including the mouse.
yeah. Which I'm like trying to like 8. Yeah, there's the guard in the beginning. That's one.
There's the guard in the beginning.
Then it's the
and
guard
there's the
out
second
in the
guard.
hallway. Yeah, the second guard. Then
the
it's
art
the
teacher.
Art teacher. Then it's I guess the mouse or the rat.
Yeah.
And then mommy, daddy, brother. That's 7.
Who's number 8?
The cop, the detective.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they managed to have 8 kills, which is pretty good for a horror movie. But it still felt so... Because all of them basically happened... Half of them were in the beginning, and half of them were in the end. And then just one
it's also,
in the middle.
In the first movie, we don't have that many kills. I think it's only the dad who actually dies.
Yeah, I think so. But there's a lot of near deaths, and you know.
Yes, and there's a lot of
she breaks the leg.
No,
of
wait, the
child.
nun as well. So there's 2 people who actually die. But she hurts more people, and she hurts herself as well. There's a lot more
violence,
gore in that sense.
Yeah.
Even though we have more kills in First Kill, which also I hate that the name is First Kill now because
her first.
We don't get to see her first kill. This isn't her first kill.
No?
She kills the first art teacher that quits.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, and I mean, she ended up in the insane asylum because she was murderous, I think. Yeah. It seems like, at least.
They could have called it like Orphan. Family comes first, or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. Something campy, you know. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Saw is family, you know? Be funny with it.
Yeah. Because this isn't her first kill.
No.
God damn it.
And even if the first kill was in this movie, it's just some guard in the beginning of the movie.
Exactly. It's a random kill, as far as we know.
The first kill should be, you know, when she, like, out of desperation, kills someone. And she's like, oh, and she gets a taste for it. But no, she's a psycho murderer from the beginning again. Okay.
Yeah, first kill should have been the prequel to the prequel in this case.
Yeah.
And this should have been, like you said, like family comes first or something.
Yeah. So
yeah, now the more we talk about it, the less I like it. I still enjoyed it a lot, though.
Sure. And that's fine, but
that's not gonna disappear.
That usually happens. Like, you like a movie a lot, then we talk about it, and then you like it less because you
ruin it.
Yeah. It has happened a couple of times where I like the movie more, though, because of our discussion. So yes, but yeah, but now, do you still like it as much?
I still like it. Not as much. But I still like it. It's still an entertain. I mean, because I like horror, I like gore, I like crime stuff and mysteries and thrillers. It's a tame horror film, so that works for me. Because I'm still not able to watch horror like I did when I was a kid. I've been ruined and scared too much, I suppose. But it's not better than the original. I still prefer the original, and I probably will forever.
Yeah. Well,
even though I didn't rewatch the original for a long time. Rewatching it now, I was like, yes, why haven't I watched this more?
All right. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one more because of all the camp and weird stuff. I used the term schlock and awe in my review on Letterboxd. Because that's kind of what this
I haven't added it yet.
Yeah, that's kind of what this was. It really wanted to shock you, but, with campy stuff. Like, when she drinks the smoothie and then there's a dead rat. Oh, man, I laughed out loud. It was so funny. Like, yes, this is what the movie should be. Like, passive-aggressive maniacs, like, digging at each other.
I was scared that it would just be, like, she added some pills or something.
Yeah, that would have been boring. But no, instead
Thank God
she put a dead rat in it. It was so good. That was my favorite moment in the movie. Well, that's what
and that Julia Stiles had to, like, play it off. No, it's just
nothing's wrong. And then she just sucks it down into the garbage disposal thing. So good. It should have been a little blood spurt. That would have been perfect.
Yes, because I love when they use garbage disposals in horror films.
Yeah.
They're so good for doing random shit.
Sticking in hands or your hair getting caught or something.
Yeah. And even if they don't actually harm anyone, just the whole like, oh my god, you're gonna get your finger sliced off if you go down for that ring. I love the tension of it.
Chekhov's garbage disposal.
Yeah. Oh man, they could have used it more then.
Yeah.
That could have been part of the chase, that she traps someone's hand or hair in it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's God damn it. I'm still gonna stick to it. I liked it. It was good. It's not fantastic. It's definitely not perfect.
No.
It's a good film. It's one of those tame horror films that is just like, it's a good film. It's a good film.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not gonna say I hate it, because I don't.
No, and I don't hate it either, but I just like with the first one, I'm not gonna revisit it. At least not in a
too
long
often.
time. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that was our discussion about Orphan, First Kill.
Yes.
Like we said before.
Fair warning, though. When we talk about the original Orphan, we're probably just going to repeat ourselves a lot.
We're going to repeat ourselves a lot. We're going to talk about some more details in that movie, but we did talk a lot about it.
Sure.
One, so maybe, well, now we already decided to do that. Because, another movie, which I mentioned because we watched, the first, half of the first movie together, yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
The other day.
The other day, yeah. I mentioned how much that movie reminded me of the movie The Good Son, with Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
And, whatever Frodo's name is.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Now, that's a movie that does the creepy child very good. At least what I remember. I haven't seen that in a long time.
What's that one called in Swedish?
It's called Ondskans
Is it
ansikte.
Ondskans ansikte?
Yeah, the face of evil, which doesn't really work. The Good Son works much better, because he plays
Yeah, but if you say that in
son.
Swedish, that sounds weird.
Then goda sonen. Yeah, it's not a good
Yeah,
time.
that doesn't make sense.
No. doesn't work.
And he is the face of evil, you know?
He is.
We could, just because we're talking about it now as well, we could do a bit of a comparison if you want to. I could make sure I watch it.
Yeah. Have you seen that before?
Parts.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen the entire thing.
But you know the premise.
I know the gist.
Okay, yeah. Well, definitely, man, because I remember I saw that many, many years ago, like, just randomly on, like, one of those movie channels that Grandpa had, because we never had cable channel, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? That's a kid from Home Alone? That's how young I was. And, like, he's insane. And I later bought it on DVD many years, or some years later. But I haven't watched it in well over 10 years.
I remember always looking at it in your shelf and going like, "Oh, I want to watch that, but I'm not sure I should.
Yeah.
It looks scary."
Yeah, if we have the time, we should rewatch that and do a compare and contrast to the original Orphan.
You know what? Because we've talked so much about the original Orphan, well, let's just put it out there. On the Patreon episode, we'll do a compare and contrast.
Yeah. So check out patreon.com/don'tmakeascene for tons of exclusive episodes, commentary tracks, which we're going to start up again in September, doing monthly commentary tracks. But yeah, the next episode is coming out this Monday, depending on when you're listening to this.
Well,
we're gonna talk about The Orphan and compare and contrast with The Good Son.
We should just say that perhaps it won't be Monday. Depends on your schedule.
Right.
Depends
a little bit on my work schedule as well, but should be Monday. Should be.
Yeah. Early next week.
Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna have to be it. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to, if you're listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're listening to this on any of the other major podcast platforms that we're available on, be sure to hit like or follow or give 5 stars or whatever you do on that given platform. Once again, be sure to check out our Patreon and support us in our independent podcast endeavors, and get all the exclusive stuff. We're doing a lot of new stuff, not just for Patreon, but it's gonna be on Patreon first.
Yes, patrons always get first look.
Yes, so check that out, and of course, tell your friends if you think they're gonna like this podcast. But other than that, once again, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. But until then, have a good one. Bye. The SpoilerCast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney. A huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Laura Kinney, Mom, and Dad.